A coalition of civil societies and leaders of thought have called for the upcoming electoral cases in courts to be televised live. Leader of the group, Professor of Strategy and Development and CIAPS Center Director, Professor Kila, who made the call, invited Nigerians to sign up and appeal on Common Voice NG, a non-partisan platform built to enable citizens and consumers express their views on issues concerning their lives to government and corporations as well.
Kila said that the group observed that the recently concluded 2023 elections have left Nigeria in a very divisive state with a significant part of the country considering the elections free, and argued that election results reflect the wishes of the people, whilst another significant part considers elections highly flawed and considers the results unacceptable, and that the dualism is causing a lot of tension in the country. To this end, the group is appealing to the Chief Justice of Nigeria to use his discretion to ensure that a number of these cases are made public by ensuring the TV coverage of these proceedings. These are some of the conversations that are being had and some of the prayers that are being made. Now, joining us further to share more light on this is the man himself, Professor Kila. He's a professor of strategy and development at the director at Commonwealth Institute of Advanced and Professional Studies, CIAPS. Good morning, Professor Kila, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, everybody. Good to be here.
All right, let's talk about the request for these proceedings to be televised. It's not something that we're used to in Nigeria. We've seen it happen in other countries, though. We've seen it happen even in South Africa and in Kenya. We've seen it happen in other countries, but it's not something that we've seen happen here. Since you've made this call, how's the reception been towards it?
Well, thank you very much for this intro. You're the first news station that is put into context to make us realize that it's not something that is totally new to the world. Some people are thinking that way in Nigeria. So thank you very much for that. This request is actually something that is an institutional bipartisan request. We've just come out of an election that is rather tension-filled. A significant part of the country, expectedly the winners, consider the election to be free, and they consider the result as sacrosanct. Another part of the population, expectedly those who did not win and their supporters, argue that the election was not free, and they contest the result. And this is creating a lot of tension in the country. Our thinking, as concerned citizens, is that one good way to douse tension is to let people see how the final unappealable result is reached. Unfortunately, we've got into this stage in our country where elections go to tribunal, and what comes out of tribunals, what comes out of the court of law, is the final one, is not touchable. It's not a good place to be, because in a good situation, once you vote, everybody should accept the result. But since we're in a place for various reasons why people are challenging the result and will rely on the judiciary for the final say, we argue that one thing that will help everybody is to see how that process is done, so that nobody can create innuendos, point out to conspiracy theories, and everybody sees that this is the rationale of justice. That way, whoever is confirmed winner will be fully legitimized, and whoever is considered not to have won will understand why they've not won. There will be no rumors or suspicions. We also argue, in the same text, that a good thing would be to make sure these cases are finished before swearing in dates, so that you don't swear someone in and you're still working to think that person will be kicked out from the court. So that whoever wins, we all accept it and we move on, and we understand that, okay, that is it finally. And we know why. It's something that helps to build, legitimize, and heal, if you want.
Well, former NBA president, in the name of Lisa Agbakoba, has actually dropped his 2 cents concerning this. Now, he's worried that the tribunal will need to conclude before the swearing-in takes place. And he's also worried that this may not happen, hence why you hear a lot of people talking about interim government here and there. But televising this, most importantly to Nigerians, and looking at his concerns, do we think that this would be able to be concluded? Would this be concluded before the swearing-in takes place? regardless of the
Well, I
fact
think
whether we
it can
televise
for
or
three
not?
reasons. Number one reason is that when this time frame, by the way, let us say straight away that the time frame is maximum. You know what the law says, that it should not exceed that time. It doesn't mean you have to use up to that time. It just says that you cannot go beyond that time that is given, 180 days. So there are three reasons why it can be done. Number one is that when these kind of considerations were made, the world was not so digital. They did not use the beavers, albeit in a limited way, for elections. And just like you and I know, you know, up till by a while ago, the news items we read in newspapers was 2 days ago. Today something happens this morning, we can broadcast it immediately. So a lot of things has changed. Digitalization has made us to spend more time. Students will know, and well, the older students who graduated, say 20, 30 years ago, will know that for you to do your project or your dissertation, you have to go from library to library to go and get books, and that takes time. Today, just with your laptop, you can do your research without leaving your room. You can attend classes and get documents online. So with digitalization, time has truly changed. Number two reason is that if the Chief Justice of Nigeria understands and agrees and, you know, feels what we're saying, that it is important to legitimize the government so that you have somebody and we're still fighting against him or her, or you don't find somebody who's saying who might as well go out, which is a very dangerous thing for democracy, they can agree with consensus with the litigating parts to say, let us make sure things are done quickly. No unnecessary technical time wasting. And the third reason is that, quite frankly, I believe that if you are petitioning a case, surely you have your proof. You know, you can't say, I suspect I won. I suspect I was cheated. Give me time to go and gather evidence. If you come out to say, I think I was cheated, or I suspect I won, and they took my vote, the day you're going to court, you should already know exactly where your votes were stolen. So I do believe that with a sense of institution, we all can agree that this should be done before swearing in date. It's just a matter of vision and goodwill. It is very doable.
Well, very doable indeed. Lord Hewart did say justice must not just be done, but must be seen to be done. This will be, you know, one of the premises on which some would argue that the trials and the proceedings be televised. But in very few seconds, it's one thing to ask for this. How positive are you that the Chief Justice, you know, and that, you know, we would actually get to see that these proceedings are open for all and sundry?
I think if Nigerians, and this is why we rely on people like you who are more influential than the rest of us, I think if people with a clear mind can see the importance of asking for this, and everybody goes, or as much as people who get the news, go to commonvoiceng.com to sign up the petition, and the judges and the whole institution, the whole country sees that this is a good idea for everybody, not just who has won or who has lost, or who claims to have won or who is considered to have lost. If everybody can see the reason, I think we can reason together and get it done. We don't need a lot. It's just a signature, and it's a very simple thing to show the Chief Justice of Nigeria that we humbly appeal to you, we thousands and thousands of people, asking you to do it. By the way, this coalition, you know, is made of leaders of thought across the country, and is bipartisan, is made of legal experts, political scientists, social scientists, and, you know, men and women who understand and care about Nigeria. So it's not a partisan or frivolous things at all.
Let's see how it goes and see if the Chief Justice heeds this call and if Nigerians are open to it as well. Professor Anthony Kila, thank you very much for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central.
Thank you for having me.